Hello everyone. We were doing chapter 2 of science is matter around us pure. So today this is the last video of this chapter. So we'll discuss about the separation of air. Now you all know that air is a mixture of many gases. Today we are going to separate different gases from air. How will we separate different gases from air? As all of you know that air is a homogeneous mixture. It contains many gases like nitrogen, argon, oxygen, carbon dioxide. So how can we separate these gases from air? So first of all, air is converted into liquid air. This can be done by decreasing the temperature and by increasing the pressure. So by doing so, air becomes liquid air. It becomes liquefied because of the compression due to high pressure. Now we'll allow to warm up slowly in fractional distillation column. In my last video, I told you about fractional distillation. So we pass this air through a fractional distillation column in which the gas which is present in air having lowest boiling point will vaporize first and can be collected first. So because the boiling point difference between the liquefied gases of air is less than 25 degrees Celsius, that's why we use fractional distillation here. So nitrogen comes out first with a boiling point of minus 196 degrees Celsius. Then argon minus 186 degrees Celsius and oxygen minus 183 degrees Celsius. The oxygen comes out in the last. So the gases get separated. Here you can see the apparatus used for separating different gases. So first of all, as you can see, there is a chamber in which compression of air, high pressure is applied, air is compressed and converted into liquefied air. The liquefied air is then passed into another chamber where very low temperature is provided. As a result, this compressed air becomes liquefied. Then this liquefied air is passed into a fractionating column. As you can see the arrow, this is the fractionating column where nitrogen gas comes out first. Its vapors comes out first with minus 196 degrees Celsius. So it boils first and can be compressed and can be condensate. Then argon and then oxygen is left behind. In this way, liquid oxygen is collected in this beaker. Now the next method of separation is for copper sulfate. If you are given impure copper sulfate, how will you purify it? How will you separate the impurities from this impure copper sulfate solution? So for this, you are going to add some water in this impure copper sulfate solution. Then take a china dish and pour the mixture of water and impure copper sulfate in china dish. Put this china dish on a beaker containing water above the burner. Now, when we boil water, what happened actually with the steam of water, the mixture starts heating. It will start heating. So as a result, what will happen? All the mixture become homogeneous that is present in the china dish. After some time, what we will do, we'll remove the burner and allow the mixture to cool down. As a result, the crystals of pure copper sulfate separate out. This is called crystallization because only the copper sulfate crystals separate out and the impurity, it cannot be crystallized, it remain in water, it remain dissolved in water. So this is the method to purify impure copper sulfate solution by the process of crystallization. So crystallization, by this method, only pure copper sulfate crystals get separated out. Then we separate these crystals out and dry them on a filter paper. What is crystallization? It is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystals from a solution. As you can see here, हमने copper sulfate के crystals separate किए. Now the applications. First, purification of salt that we get from sea water. Sea water से जब हम salt निकालते हैं तो उसकी purification भी we can do by the method of crystallization. सी वाटर से सॉल्ट की सेपरेशन हम कर सकते हैं. दिस इज द फर्स्ट एप्लीकेशन. नाउ द सेकंड एप्लीकेशन, सेपरेशन ऑफ क्रिस्टल्स ऑफ एलम फ्रॉम इम्प्योर सैंपल्स. व्हाट इज एलम? एलम इज फिटकरी. तो इन द सेम वे जैसे हमने कॉपर सल्फेट के क्रिस्टल्स को सेपरेट किया, एलम के क्रिस्टल्स को भी हम उसमें से इम्प्योरिटी सेपरेट कर सकते हैं और प्योर क्रिस्टल्स सेपरेट हो सकते हैं. सो क्रिस्टलाइजेशन. अब हम नेक्स्ट टॉपिक करेंगे कि इज क्रिस्टलाइजेशन एंड इवेपोरेशन आर द सेम थिंग और दे आर डिफरेंट? यस, ऑफ कोर्स दे आर डिफरेंट. एंड व्हिच टेक्निक इज बेटर? Crystallization is much better than simple evaporation. That is a very important question. Why crystallization is better than evaporation? So the first reason for this is that some solids decompose or other like sugar may get charred on heating to dryness. अगर हम evaporation करते हैं, उसको direct heating देते हैं तो कुछ solids वो decompose हो सकते हैं. बट इन केस ऑफ क्रिस्टलाइजेशन, बिकॉज हम वाटर बाथ हीटिंग दे रहे हैं या वाटर के ऊपर हीटिंग दे रहे हैं, तो उसमें चैरिंग या ब्लैक नहीं होता वो जो हमारा मिक्सचर होता है. सेकेंड, सम इम्प्योरिटीज मे रिमेन डिसॉल्व्ड इन द सॉल्यूशन इवन आफ्टर फिल्ट्रेशन. ऑन इवेपोरेशन दीज कंटेमिनेट द सॉलिड. अभी क्या होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल हम लेट अस टेक द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ वाटर एंड सॉल्ट. अगर हम वाटर एंड सॉल्ट को इवेपोरेशन से प्योरीफाई करते हैं, सेपरेट करते हैं, तो क्या होगा? वाटर, हम उसको हीट करेंगे मिक्सचर को, वाटर विल इवेपोरेट. वाटर इवेपोरेट होगा लेकिन इम्प्योरिटीज दैट विल बी लेफ्ट बिहाइंड विद द सॉल्ट. इम्प्योरिटीज सेपरेट नहीं हुई सॉल्ट से. बट अगर हम इसी प्रोसेस को क्रिस्टलाइजेशन की हेल्प से करें तो व्हाट विल हैपन दैट हम उसको पहले हीट करेंगे, फिर उसको ठंडा करेंगे, तो जो सॉल्ट होगा ठंडा होने पे सॉलिड बन जाएगा और उसके प्योर क्रिस्टल सेपरेट आउट हो जाएंगे एंड इम्प्योरिटीज विल रिमेन डिसॉल्व्ड इन वाटर. तो बाय दीज टू वेज crystallization is much better than evaporation. Till now we have done lots of methods of separation of different mixtures. अब हम कुछ questions करते हैं. Like for example, name the technique to separate butter from curd. Yes, we have done this in my last video. तो butter को curd से हम कैसे separate करेंगे? By centrifugation, because both of these are miscible liquids. So two miscible liquids can be separated by centrifugation. Second, salt from water. Salt from water, as we have done right now also, we can separate salt from water either from crystallization or evaporation. Both the techniques are good for separating salt from water. Now the third, camphor from salt. As you all know that camphor is a sublime substance. So if one of the component in your given mixture is sublime, which technique can be used? Sublimation, right? So camphor and salt mixture can be separated by using the technique of sublimation. Sublimation करेंगे हम इस मिक्सचर को इन्वर्टेड फनल के ऊपर रख के उसके और उसको हीट करेंगे तो कैम्फर उसमें सब्लिमेट हो जाएगा और सॉल्ट रह जाएगा. Now the last topic of this chapter, the difference between physical changes and chemical changes. Physical change, no new substance is formed in the physical change. Like for example, सबसे simple example that we see in our daily life, ice is converted into liquid. The formula of ice is H2O, water. And in the same way, liquid water, the formula of liquid water is also H2O. The formula remains same, only the state, one state converting to another state. So in this, no new substance is formed. That means it is a physical change. Second, physical change is reversible. Ice को हम water बना सकते हैं, water को दोबारा freeze करके ice बना सकते हैं. And third, physical change is temporary change. Temporary है, ये permanent नहीं है कि एक बार ice से water बन गया तो water से वापस ice नहीं बन सकती. Examples: melting of ice, evaporation of water, etc. So these are the examples of physical change. So do you understand about physical changes? No new substance is formed. Physical change is reversible. Physical change is temporary change. Now is the chemical change. Chemical change में क्या होता है? Always new substances is formed in a chemical change. जब भी कोई chemical change होगा तो हमेशा कोई नया substance बनेगा. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम एक मैग्नीशियम रिबन लें और उसको बर्न करें तो बर्न करके वो ऐश में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा और एयर की ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करके मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड बनाएगा. तो हियर magnesium is converted into magnesium oxide. A new substance is formed. So it is a chemical change. And chemical change is irreversible. Irreversible means हम इसको reverse नहीं कर सकते backward direction में कि मैग्नीशियम से मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड बन गया तो हम रिवर्स करके उसको मैग्नीशियम ऑक्साइड से मैग्नीशियम नहीं बना सकते. Then chemical change is permanent क्योंकि वो रिवर्स नहीं हो सकता. That means it is a permanent change. For example, burning of magnesium ribbon, burning of coal. जब कोयला जलाते हैं तो कार्बन जो है वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं. So these are the examples of chemical changes. This is the difference between physical change and chemical change. Clear to everyone? So this chapter is over. I hope this become clear to everyone. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any query, you can contact me. Thank you.